Let's start the first topic for this session. Now we have seen in the previous session how do we do net income approach. A net income approach is focused on capital structure decisions are relevant, right? And for them, value of the firm was what? Value of equity plus value of debenture. Similarly, how did you compute it? Cost of capital was EBIT divided by value. See, whatever theory we do, keep our assumptions strong. So to make an optimum capital structure, value of the firm should be maximized and cost of capital should be minimized. The same as objectives we have under this approach as well. Assumptions remain the same. Assume there are only two sources to raise funds. One is equity, other is debenture. Second assumption, there are no taxes. Third, EBIT of the company will remain constant. Keeping the assumptions in mind, let us start net operating income approach. Now, net operating income approach is just the opposite of net income approach we did in the previous session. Now, net income approach said that capital structure decisions were relevant, right? For the deciding is the value or the financing part. Now, net operating income approach says that capital structure decision is irrelevant for the valuation for the firm. They do not play any role in the valuation as this firm. If we talk about the value of the firm, the market value of the firm is not at all affected by capital structure changes. So this theory says that net operating income approach does not contribute to any objective. Like objectives of optimum capital structure or what value of the firm should increase, and this approach says that the value of the firm actually do not increase. Right? This approach focus on this is the change in capital structure will not lead to any change in the value of the firm. Similarly, or the market price of a share, and cost of the capital also is not affected by it. Just the opposite of the previous approach which we have studied now. So, if capital structures are not important, it does not matter if debentures should be taken into consideration or not. So, in our net operating income approach, we do not take debentures for a purpose of study. We only take equity for a purpose of study. So, only equity is important. So, when I talk about equity, we take only equity into equity shares for a purpose of study. As the two objectives of capital structure, value of the firm should increase and cost of capital should decrease, and this approach does not matter at all. But still we need to find out the value and cost to see how it is getting, does it get affected or not. So how do we find the value under this approach? Remember the previous one. How do you find cost of capital under the previous net income approach? You saw was cost of capital was EBIT divided by value. Cross multiply now. How do you find the value? No new formula. Value of the company will be EBIT divided by cost of capital. Second, the optimum capital structure objective is, one is the value which you can find with this formula. Second is to focus is the cost of capital. Over here, debentures are not important, you have them or not, they're completely irrelevant for this purpose of study. So this theory focus only on cost of equity. Focus on cost of equity for your cost of capital. Keeping these two things in mind, let us see how do you find out this net operating income approach. We'll do a small example to make it more clear. For example, this illustration says XYZ expects a net operating income of rupees 2 lakh. It has 8 lakh. 6% debentures. The overall capitalization rate of the company is 10%. Calculate the value of the firm and equity capitalization rate according to net operating income approach. Now, if you focus on this, they're very clear. Find out the equity capitalization. They don't ask you to find cost of capital also because it's not possible under net operating income approach. Net operating income approach is very clear. Capital structure decisions do not affect the value or your cost of capital. Okay, then what do we focus on? We focus on cost of equity over here. And how do you find the value of the firm? EBIT divided by cost of capital. Just cross multiply the previous formula which is studied on a net income approach. Let us see what is given to us in this illustration. Net operating income of 2 lakh. Net operating income is EBIT. 8 lakh, 6% debentures. 8 lakh is the value of debentures, 6% is the interest rate. Overall capitalization rate 10%, which is the cost of capital. To find out the value of the firm and cost of equity. Let us do one by one. Let us see how to find the value of equity. Under this approach, you can't do value of the company is equal to the value of equity plus debentures, because debentures are there or not, it does not impact at all. So how do you find the value? We just cross multiply the previous formula which you have studied. So the value of the firm is EBIT divided by cost of capital. EBIT is how much? 2 lakh, and cost of capital is how much? 10%. So 2 lakh divided by 10%, if you do, you get is the value of the firm. How much we get? The value of the firm is 20 lakh. So we got the first part over here. Second thing we need is cost of equity. How do you find cost of equity? Earnings available to equity shareholders divided by value of equity. So we need two things over here. First we need is the earnings available to equity shareholders. Second thing we need is the value of equity. Now how do we find the value of equity? See over here we have got the value of the firm as we have computed 20 lakh. Value of debentures is already given to us as 8 lakh. So 20 lakh minus 8 lakh will give you the value of equity. Remember, value of firm was what? Value of equity plus value of debenture. Can you find value of equity? Yes, value of firm minus value of debenture. So value of the firm is 20 lakh, value of debenture is 8 lakh. Can you find value of equity? Yes. We got value of equity as how much? 12 lakh over here. So we got the first part clear as the value of equity is 12 lakh. Second thing, what do we need? Earnings available to equity shareholders. How do you find the earnings? Keep the table clear. EBIT minus interest goes to PBT. PBT minus tax is PAT. PAT minus preference dividend is earnings available to equity shareholders. EBIT is the same 2 lakh which is given to us. Interest will be how much? 8 lakh into 6% which gives us 48,000. Difference will be what? PBT. That is your EBIT minus interest. EBIT is 2 lakh. 2 lakh minus 48,000 will give you the PBT. No taxes, so PBT will be equal to PAT. No preference dividend, so profit after tax should be equal to earnings available to equity shareholders. Substitute the amounts in the earnings, divide by the value of equity. What will I get? The final value of cost of equity. So cost of equity will be what? Earnings available to equity shareholders divided by the value of equity. Substitute the amount same, so you get 12.67%. And this is how we do under net operating income approach. Keep both the theories clear. See, we did net income approach, and in the net income approach what we saw? Value of company was value of equity plus value of debenture because capital structure decisions were relevant. We found cost of capital because you have to take into account as cost of equity and cost of debenture. Based on that you found cost of capital. You did EBIT divided by value. You move to net operating income approach, and it is a complete opposite. It said capital structure decisions are not relevant at all. So how do you find it out? We do it with the help of a formula which we cross multiply. So over here what do we focus on? Value of a firm. Just cross multiply the previous formula. Previously in the previous approach you studied cost of capital was EBIT by value. So what will be the value now? Just cross multiply EBIT divided by cost of capital. Over here don't focus on cost of capital because we don't take debentures into consideration for capital structure. So we focus on cost of equity. And how do you focus on cost of equity? By calculating by earnings divided by total earnings which you take into account divided by the value of the equity shares. Keeping your concepts correct, do it, and assumptions remain the same. No taxes, EBIT remain the same. The only two sources to raise funds, one is equity, other is debenture.